Be silent now, my friend. Let the world talk while you build. Let their voices clash in chaos while your silence grows sharp in the dark. Silence is not weakness. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is your shield. They believe noise makes them powerful. They scream, they shout, they boast. But the world does not bend to noise. It bends to power. And power whispers. Power waits. Power strikes when no one is ready. Silence is the sharpest weapon you will ever hold. But you waste it when you beg. You waste it when you explain. You waste it when you spill your soul to those who will never understand. They do not value your words. They twist them. They mock them. They use them as weapons against you. But your silence? It terrifies them. It forces them to choke on their own thoughts. It forces them to see what they cannot predict. A silent man is dangerous because silence cannot be measured. Silence cannot be mocked. Silence cannot be controlled. When you stop reacting, when you stop justifying, when you let their betrayal hang unanswered, that is when the mask slips. That is when they panic. That is when they realize they never had power over you at all. Anger can be measured. Tears can be ridiculed. Laughter can be ignored. But silence? Silence is a mirror. It makes them see themselves. And most people hate what they see. You think staying silent makes you weak. But silence is discipline. Silence is patience. It is the art of letting the world burn itself out while you prepare your next move. Those who wronged you, do they deserve your explanations? Do they deserve your pain spelled out in words they will never honor? Number. They deserve nothing. They deserve silence, because silence is not absence. Silence is a storm gathering. Imagine vanishing from their noise. No replies, no arguments, no desperate explanations, nothing. And then, months later, you appear again. Sharper, harder, stronger. Your silence wasn't emptiness. It was growth. It was pain carving you into something unreachable. And the sight of you burns them alive with regret. Understand this. No one regrets losing the loud. No one regrets losing the ones who beg, cry, or plead. But they regret losing the ones who vanish in silence. They regret losing the ones who return unrecognizable. They regret losing the ones who walk back untouchable. Silence is heavy. It feels like it crushes your chest. It feels like swallowing knives every day. But that weight is training. That suffering is the gym for your soul. Every unsaid word is a representative. Every restrained scream is a set. You are building something. You are forging armor no betrayal can pierce. One day, you will walk into rooms and your silence will scream louder than their noise. One day, you will sit at tables and your calmness will suffocate their fake laughter. One day, your eyes will say what your lips no longer need to. That is the destiny of silence. Do not explain, do not beg, do not argue. Be silent. Let them wonder. Let them assume. Let them choke on the stories they invent about you. Because when you finally speak again, your words will not be explanations. They will be declarations. They will be commands. And your silence will already have done the damage. Silence is not escape. It is control. It strangles the chaos before it strangles you. People want you to react because reactions feed them. They thrive like parasites on your emotions. You shout, they smile. You cry, they laugh. You beg, they grin. But when you starve them with silence, they suffocate. They starve. That is the beauty of silence. It is famine for your enemies. And your enemies are not cartoon villains. They are the ones you trusted. The ones who promised never to leave, then left anyway. The smiling betrayers who treated your pain like entertainment. They wanted a show. Do not give them one. Be silent. Let curiosity devour them while you sharpen your blades in the dark. People do not understand the cost of silence. It feels like swallowing fire. It feels like suffocating in your own head. It feels like replaying every betrayal without release. But that suffering is not useless. That pain is not wasted. It is lifting. It is forging. It is building something louder than any scream. Pain and silence transform you, like a seed underground, buried, alone, forgotten. But then, one day, it rises. It breaks through stone. It breaks through concrete, and no one can stop it. That is you. That is what silence creates. You notice the strongest fighters never boast before battle. They don't scream promises. They don't brag about victories yet to come. They stare in silence. And that silence says everything. I don't need to prove myself with words. You'll feel it soon enough. When the strike comes, the silence before it makes the impact 10 times heavier. Do not post about how you will rise. Do not call them to explain how much you've grown. Do not announce your strength. Let them see it when it is too late. Let silence load the gun. Let your success pull the trigger. But silence does more than punish your enemies. It teaches you about people. When you stop explaining yourself, watch who stays, watch who fades. Those who only loved your voice, your reassurance, your attention, they vanish because they never loved you. They loved the noise you gave them. And when the noise dies, so does their loyalty. The ones who remain, those are the real ones. Silence filters out the shallow. Silence exposes the fake. Silence leaves you with the truth, however ugly it may be. This is the hardest lesson silence gives. Most people were never real to begin with, and silence reveals it. You want to win. Stop feeding them with your words. Let them sit with their guilt. Let them sit with their emptiness. Don't save them. Don't fix them. Don't argue. Don't beg. Just vanish into silence and build. Build when no one is clapping. Work when no one believes. Heal when no one notices. Because when you return, you won't need words. Your presence will be enough. Silence is survival. Wolves hunt in silence. Assassins move in silence. Storms arrive in silence. The ones who talk too much burn out before the fight begins. The ones who stay quiet, they own the aftermath. Silence is not weakness. It is the calm before the storm. And when your storm arrives, they will wish they had never doubted you. Silence is a blade. You don't wave it around in the streets. You don't show it to everyone. You keep it hidden, sharp, waiting. And when it cuts deeper than anything they've ever felt. That is why silence is feared. Because it cannot be read. It cannot be mocked. It cannot be twisted. Words can be broken. But silence Silence crawls into their heads and lives there rent-free. It keeps them awake at night. It makes them wonder what you're thinking. And that wondering is power. You do not need to roar when your silence already makes them choke. Noise comes from weakness. The loudest ones are always the most hollow. They shout to cover the emptiness inside. But you learn to sit in silence even when it feels like hell. You learn to witness yourself, and that makes you rare. That makes you dangerous. Silence does not hand out trophies. It hands out scars. It forces you to carry pain until you turn it into strength. It is cruel, but it is also the only way to become untouchable. Because silence is not absence, it is presence, it is weight, it is power. Silence is cruel, it feels like suffocation, it feels like death, but it is not death, it is rebirth. You see, silence is not weakness, silence is discipline, and discipline is pain you choose. Most men cannot hold it. Most men break. They run back to noise because noise is relief. They run back to arguments because arguments feel alive. They run back to begging because begging feels like control. But those things are illusions. Illusions that cost you power. Every time you speak when you should stay silent, you hand away a piece of yourself. Every explanation is a chain. Every defense is a leash. Every outburst is a gift to those who betrayed you. And they want those gifts. They want your fire. They want your voice. They want your attention. Do not give it to them. Silence is sacrifice, and sacrifice is what separates the common from the untouchable. You will feel it burn. You will feel your chest ache with words you want to scream. You will feel your fingers itch to type messages you'll regret. But hold it. Hold the silence until it carves you. Hold the silence until it reshapes you. Because every moment you endure, you are building. You are forging armor no betrayal can pierce. That is what silence does. It trains you. It disciplines you. It forces you to sit in the fire until the fire no longer consumes you. And when you walk out, nothing can burn you again. Understand this. Silence is not passive. It is active. Every second you keep your mouth shut, you are not doing nothing. You are doing everything. You are commanding yourself. You are controlling the battlefield. You are choosing restraint over weakness. And that choice is what builds power. Look at those who betrayed you. Look at those who mocked you. Look at those who left you broken. They expect your words. They expect your noise. They expect your pain turned into entertainment. But when you go silent, you break their script. You destroy their control. You force them to sit in the emptiness you created. And that emptiness suffocates them more than your anger ever could. This is why silence is the ultimate revenge. Because it denies them. It starves them. It corrodes them from the inside out. Every day they don't hear from you is a day they wonder. Every night your absence haunts them like a ghost, and regret grows inside their chest until it poisons them. Noise is closure. Silence is punishment. Noise is release. Silence is corrosion. Noise lets them move on. Silence keeps them chained to the past. You do not need bullets. You do not need knives. You do not need screams. You need silence. Because silence is the slowest, most merciless blade you will ever wield. But silence is not just for them. It is for you. It frees you. It focuses you. It directs you. Every second you don't waste explaining is energy you can use to build. Every hour you don't waste arguing is an hour you can put into your craft. Every day you don't waste chasing is a day you can spend sharpening. That is why silence is sacred, because it transforms your suffering into fuel. It redirects your energy from them into you, and slowly, the man who was broken becomes the man who cannot be touched. Do you know what silence makes you? It makes you unpredictable. People fear what they cannot read. They can read anger. They can mock tears. They can dismiss laughter. But silence is unreadable. Are you broken? Are you planning? Are you gone forever? Or are you waiting for the perfect strike? They don't know. And that not knowing is what eats them alive. That is why silence is not just discipline. It is strategy. It is war without lifting a sword. Let me give you the rules. Rule 1. Never explain yourself to those who don't care. Your words are weapons. Don't hand them away. Keep them locked. Keep them sharpened. Keep them for the moment that matters. Rule 2. Don't waste energy on enemies. They want your rage. They want your breakdown. They want proof they mattered. Silence denies them. Silence starves them. Silence suffocates them. Rule 3. Never announce your plans. Noise exposes you. Silence protects you. Build in shadows. Reveal in thunder. Let results speak. Let silence scream. Rule 4. Use silence to test loyalty. When you go quiet, watch who stays. Watch who vanishes. The ones who vanish loved your noise, not you. The ones who remain, they are rare. They are real. They are the ones worth keeping. Rule 5. Choose your battlefield. Every argument is a trap. Every defense is wasted breath. Silence shifts the fight to where you are strongest. Discipline. And in that arena, you cannot lose. These are the rules. This is the strategy. This is how you win wars without fighting. Because the world is full of talkers. The loudest ones are always the weakest. They scream to cover their emptiness. But silence exposes them. Silence reveals truth. And silence makes you untouchable. Now listen carefully. Silence is not forever. It is not the destination. It is the transformation. It is the cocoon. It is the forge. One day your silence will end. And when it does, you will not return the same. You will not come back broken. You will not come back begging. You will not come back explaining. You will come back unrecognizable. You will come back sharper. You will come back harder. You will come back as the storm they never saw coming. Your silence will have been the planting. Your return will be the harvest. And when they see you again, when they realize your silence was not weakness but preparation, regret will eat them alive. They expected you to vanish. They expected you to stay broken. They expected you to stay small. But silence betrayed them. Silence fooled them. Silence created something else entirely. And that something is you, reborn. When you walk back into their world, you won't need words. Your presence will say everything. Your silence will already have written the story. Your return will be the thunder after years of lightning gathering unseen. That is the transformation. That is the revenge. That is the destiny. Because silence is not weakness. It is destiny. It is legacy. Noise fades. Silence remains. Noise burns out. Silence endures. Noise dies with the moment. Silence lives forever. People will not remember what you said. They will remember what you didn't. They will not remember your arguments. They will remember the void you left. They will not remember your noise. They will remember the silence that haunted them. That is legacy. That is immortality. Because silence is unforgettable. A man who screams is forgotten when the echo dies. A man who argues is forgotten when the dust settles. But a man who goes silent, he is remembered forever. He becomes a shadow in the mind, a ghost in the room, a weight that never lifts. That is why silence is not just strategy, it is destiny. You are not meant to be loud. You are not meant to beg to be understood. You are meant to be silent until silence becomes presence, until silence becomes respect, until silence becomes fear. That is who you are becoming. That is what silence is building. So, hold it. Hold it when it burns. Hold it when it suffocates. Hold it when it feels like death. Because it is not death. It is transformation. It is destiny. It is the birth of the man they will never break again. And when you finally speak, it will not be explanations. It will not be defenses. It will not be pleas. It will be victory. It will be thunder. It will be the sound of destiny fulfilled. That is the power of silence. That is the weight of legacy. That is your fate. Be silent, my friend. Be silent until your silence becomes the story they cannot stop telling. Be silent until your silence becomes the fear that never leaves them. Be silent until your silence becomes the roar that drowns out every voice that doubted you. Because silence is not absence, it is presence. It is not defeat, it is preparation. It is not weakness, it is destiny. And destiny, once forged in silence, cannot be broken.